Good day to you. It is the 18th of May 2021, 2023. Was that Freudian, I wonder? Here we are reading out of Winged Pharaoh. It's a book, a far memory book by Joan Grant. It was published in 1937. It was very acclaimed. She writes her own memory, and this is a book about old Egypt before the flood and before Babylon, and her father, Atet, Pharaoh, has died, and her brother will rule the kingdom, but she is too young. Her brother Nea has taken over, and this is the third part of this book, chapter 2 actually. Last day of childhood. She is Sekita here, and a young woman. On the day before I went into the temple, I went along with my mother to the meadow of Ra, and I stayed there long with her, for I knew that this was the last day of my childhood. I sat at her feet and rested my head against her knees, while her hands caressed my forehead, like the cool winds of sunset. My heart was sorrowful, for I thought that never again should Nea and I know the happiness of children together, for he must rule, and he would find other companions, and some might be dearer to him than I. No longer could the love of my mother be as sandals upon my 2 feet, for I must learn wisdom myself, so that, shod in truth, I could bear burdens across the heavy places of earth. And as the shadows grew long, my mother talked to me, and the weight of years of tears upon my heart was lightened. If you were blind, my Sekita, there is nothing that you would not do. There is nothing that you would leave undone. If it might let you see the stars again. Long have you worked before in this life I first held you in my arms, so that you might see from this poor misty land we call earth, to realities where all truth endures. When you were a child and frightened by a dream, remember the comfort a lamp could give to you by driving back the darkness that you feared. One day of your own knowledge you shall be a lamp, and others who fear the twilight of this world shall look to you to light them on their way. When you were little, I taught you this prayer. Master of thy wisdom, let me grow into a great tree, so that the weary may rest in my shade, and go upon their journey refreshed, and the storm-ridden may regain their strength in the shelter of my boughs. Now, like a tree you shall grow upwards to the light, and your knowledge shall be the roots that withstand the bitter winds of time, that in the future may assail your strength. Far in the future there may come a time of little knowledge in the land, a time when men have forgotten that death and sleep are one, a time when men have cloaked the face of truth and walk in fear and know not where they walk. But if you can cross the causeway to the gods, then you shall never know the loneliness of those poor lost ones, crying in the mist, who cannot see the stars for their own tears. For love of you, I would take all the joys that this earth holds and put them in your hands. I would keep every sorrow from your path, that there should be laughter ever in your heart. Yet would I give you a far richer gift, but it is a gift that you yourself must find. Even if you could have all the joys of earth, they would last such a little span of time, for chariots break and lions must die, and sailing boats shall no more fly the wind, and even the loveliest bodies return to dust. But what you learn in a temple will endure when earth is a link in a half-forgotten chain. Wisdom and love are mightier than time. There may be deserts where this garden is forgotten, mounts for temple sanctuaries. Yet will the love in our hearts be with us still, and you will have learned how to remember it. So that was chapter 2 of part 3. And And the next one is First Days in the Temple. Young Sakita, Joan Grant. Have a good Thursday.